Hey, remote learners. Today is Monday, November the 16th. Today is a day where you have every single special. You're going to have PE, you're going to have STEM, you're going to have music, and you're going to have art every single day. Guess what? I'm pranking you. It's not, it's just PE day. But today is joke and prank week. So you're going to get to have some awesome ideas. One rule we have is that you have to have them be harmless pranks. And if you get called out, you have to accept it. You can't keep going. So we want to have a little joy. We want to have a little fun, but we don't want to take it too far. So just know the boundaries and the parameters and don't try to push it. But we are excited to share some jokes and pranks with you this week. So we have a weekly challenge. This is not a prank. I have to take this call real quick. Okay, we're back. Hey, so joke and prank week, we want to hear the best ways that you can prank all those people around you in a really harmless and joyful way. So you have a new Padlet. This is where we want you by Monday, that week from today at 12:30, for you to share the details, the pictures, the videos of your best harmless and only fun prank, to share some of those adventures. So this is the link where you can go to. It's padlet.com/lshivers, and then the date when it's due, /11/23/20. So we're excited to see. So some quick dad jokes for you. Yesterday, I ate a clock. It was very time consuming, especially when I went back for seconds. You get it? Seconds. Haha. What do you call an alligator in a vest? You call that an investigator. And then the last one, the waiter says, "Do you want a box for leftovers?" And then the dad says, "Nope, but I'll wrestle you for them instead." So you get it, boxing versus wrestling. It's a little bit on that level. So there's some jokes for you. Now some prank ideas for you. These are ones you can consider as harmless and fun pranks. Did you know that if you dip cotton balls in water, they'll stick to anything on a cold night? So see what you can do with some cotton balls dipped in water outside on some fun vehicles maybe. You can sign your family up for some really funny mailing list. In college, I got signed up for all kinds of things that came to my apartment from my friends. So then you can put eyeballs on everything in the refrigerator, so it looks like they're looking back at you when you open it up. So I thought that was a really funny one that you could consider doing. You could say, "Come over to the window and look at all these deer, these wildlife." And then, of course, there's nothing there. You can put the brownies. Those are some brownies that you can share with your family and all your friends. So just some ideas for you to get started with. I wanted to introduce you to one of my students. When I was a teacher, I did sixth grade in Topeka. So here's Alex. He was one of my favorite kids. We pranked a lot. All right, remote learners, I get to introduce you to one of my favorite students. This was in my first year of teaching sixth grade in Topeka. This is Mr. Alex King. He was one of my students when I started off. So Alex, can you share a little bit about what you're doing now and just anything that you want to catch us up with your life? And then we'll share a few of the pranks that we had in my very first year of teaching.
Sure. Yeah, I'm 28, live in Fort Collins, Colorado. I work as a project manager for a steel fabrication company. And yeah, got to experience Mr. Shivers fresh out of college. So it was a good year. It was a lot of fun.
It was a very good time. So there's three stories we're going to share. The first one was once you and your classmates, you ran with Ben and with Tyler, and you had a good crew of really good guys. But you had an idea to get out of our novel study one day. And so when I was in the hallway, you and your buddies got everybody in the class. I don't know how you convinced everyone in the classroom. It was 100% of those students gave you their books, and you put all the books in the ceiling. There's a drop ceiling, so that you moved one tile. You put all the books up there. And then when I came back in, I had no clue what was going on. And it was only when Candace and Kelsey pointed up that I had any clue it was in the ceiling. How do you remember that story going down, Alex?
I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there like a countertop like behind your desk maybe? And I think I hopped up there, and then like Tyler and Caleb and Ben, those guys gathered up all the books and handed them to me. And I just, popped a ceiling tile and shoved them all up there and then put it back on. And you would have never known if the girls hadn't told you.
I had no clue. We looked everywhere for those books. They were gone, but thank goodness for some pure.
I don't know how we all kept a straight face for as long as we did.
It was pretty impressive. I agree. You had a lot of practice though. So the other story is we served a Thanksgiving meal for the entire school, our sixth grade class. And so it was just kind of one of those things we wanted to do to give back to all the teachers that were there and to the families. So there was one pot of gravy though. Alex, what was that pot of gravy?
Oh, I don't remember. You're gonna have to remind me on that one again.
This one. It was bad news. I think there was some botulism in the gravy. So it was
That-
about 9 o'clock that night that everybody had a very quick exit
Oh,
of the meal. And there were not enough bathrooms in some of the houses because the whole family ate there.
Yeah. Yep. I do remember that. And I think I might have been, my family and the Ralphs might have been together that evening, like after our family, because we lived close and we were really,
Exactly. That is some
I
dangerous
remember
nights.
that. Yeah. It was like bad news. Like we need to go home.
And it wasn't until we came back from fall break that we started saying, hey, how did you feel at that weekend? Like, it wasn't until then that we realized that everybody
Oh,
had a
yeah.
really bad
Cool.
case of food poisoning. So the third story was one of our field trips. This was back in the days where we could transport ourselves to field trips. And I think you were in a van that kind of got lost on the way to the steamship Arabia because I didn't give you very good direction. This was before the days of Google Maps and
Yeah.
being able to really know where you were able to go. So we were a bunch of kids from Topeka trying to go to Kansas City to see the steamship Arabia. And your poor van got so turned around and lost in downtown Kansas City. What was that like?
Oh, yeah. Well, Mrs. Hutton is just like the sweetest, nicest lady. And she just pretty well went into panic mode, poor gal. But yeah, no iPhone, no GPS. And we're just all looking out the window like, what do we do? I mean, we're in 6th grade. Us guys were old enough to try and help. Like, I think maybe that's it over there. But just, yeah, it was bad news. And Mrs. Hutton was trying to hold it together to not panic us kids, but she was pretty well full panic mode on us.
She would get that way pretty quick. That's so funny. So
Yeah.
we had a great year in our first year. So any advice on why pranks are important or how they bond people together or how to share joy? Any other thoughts on that one?
I just, as long as they're lighthearted and you're not hurting anybody's feelings, it's awesome. Yeah. Laughter can just bring people together and it's a great thing. And yeah, it's, good class bonding when you can get 100% participation on let's hide the books and the ceilings and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a good way, messing with each other. And, even my roommates in college and I still, the older sinks, it has the spray nozzle on the side, stick a rubber band around it and, put it facing right in the middle. So someone comes to get a glass of water, they get sprayed with water. Just funny stuff like that keeps everybody in a good mood and, can turn someone's day around, if it's funny and just a great thing.
That's right. Alex, you could go for days with all kinds of pranks. If I remember you from 6th grade and if you're anything like that still, you were such a great, delightful kid. So it's great to see you 20 years later down the road of life. So really proud of you. And so any other advice for our remote learners? We've got 800 kids that are learning remote. I'm so proud of these kids. Any advice for them from your perspective?
Just stick with it and try and stay focused the best you can. I don't know. I never really had to learn remote. And I always enjoyed being with my classmates and whatnot. But yeah, you guys all got phones, so stay in touch with each other and try and stay focused the best you can. And, keep your eye on the prize in the long run that this won't be forever. And hopefully you're back in school with your buddies soon.
Love it. Thanks so much, Alex. It's great to see you.
Yeah.
I love being your teacher. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thanks for everything, man.
Cool. Well, that was a short little update. So I hope you have a great day, everybody. Enjoy prank and joke week in really positive and fun ways. We'll talk soon.